Hello, this is going to be a reading for Scorpio. Hello, Scorpio. This is going to be a reading for June 2025. What do they have for you? Poverty. First card out is poverty. Kind of self-explanatory. This is a subject. Doesn't have to be you, could be somebody that you know. Official person. I feel like an official person is going to go into poverty. Somebody that's looked at as, respected. I feel like there's going to be some kind of embarrassment here. Definitely. It's not something that you guys like at all. Scorpio and Aries don't like that embarrassing shit. Don't like to be embarrassed or laughed at. Marriage. I feel like somebody's marriage is going to bring them some kind of shame and bring them into poverty. And this is an official person, somebody that was supposed to know better or do better. Journey. I feel like this is going to send them down a journey, though. Sometimes you have to go into poverty to really be able to go on your journey. Because there's, you got to get away from all the superficial people and stuff like that, Scorp. And you guys are definitely the type that got to go into poverty in order to get away from those kind of people. You're impasse and you pull in negative energy. It's because of your placement, Scorpio. It's a dark sign, it's a negative energy sign. So you're going to end very magnetic. You're going to pull in narcissists and stuff like that. And if you're not careful, you can become one, because then you become controlled by fear instead of that beautiful heart that you're supposed to be learning in this life, how to let that heart guide you. Don't be afraid, and we're always worried about what people think because you don't want to be embarrassed about something. You and the Mars planets, Aries will plot on your death forever if you laugh at them or embarrass them. Aries are so funny to me. Hierophant. So this could be a whole group of people. The Hierophant just came out in the collective reading too. It wasn't a good thing either. I think this is kind of touching on that, because that other, it was the devil came out twice in the Hierophant. The devil and the Hierophant came out together. It's about power, and that's something that you rule. You rule power. You're in the house of power. Ace of Wands underneath this official person. So I feel like somebody is part of a group, but they're going to get some kind of new energy or something to do something else, or because this group is going into poverty. Nine of Wands in the reverse. Yeah, somebody can't defend themselves, or they can't defend this decision. The Magician underneath Journey. I manifest perfectly what I desire. This is somebody that's manifesting, somebody that's using the tools around them every situation, whether it be negative or positive, to manifest what it is they want. Somebody can't defend themselves from this. Somebody might be losing everything from a marriage. With the Hierophant here, that could mean marriage too. Yeah, I think that somebody's marriage to somebody, or somebody being involved in a group of people, is going to bring them into poverty. This official person, maybe they are the ones that gave this group so much power to be able to do the things that they were doing. Obviously, it wasn't anything positive. And I feel like somebody is, with the High Priestess in reverse and the Magician in the upright, though. And then we have the Queen of Wands in the reverse and the Ten of Wands in the reverse. Yeah, I feel like somebody was on their way to doing dark things with the group, and they decided, or they were pulled out of it. This feels like spirit letting shit fall, because somebody is on a totally... they're on the wrong path. This has something to do with work. With the Eight of Pentacles in the reverse, somebody's not a master. They're not mastering something. They're not working for it. They didn't work for it. This group, possibly, it didn't work for something. Yeah, Nine of Swords. This is being tormented in your dreams, having guilt, not being able to sleep. You're so fucking guilty. This is demonic spirits attacking you in your dreams. This is witches attacking you. Or it could just be your conscience with the Judgment here. I feel like somebody knows that they're fucked. And then we have the Wheel of Fortune in reverse again that came out in the collective reading. And we have the Star card. This also came out in the collective reading, upside down though, in the same position. So we have Sagittarius, a lot of Sagittarius, but this is also you, Scorpio, the Judgment. I feel like you need to, again, somebody made a wrong choice with this marriage, or these people that they came into union with. It was the wrong judgment. And you're supposed to be more investigative than that, Scorpio. Something is, and it's fucking with you. Or fucking with somebody, excuse me. Excuse my French. We have the Wheel of Fortune here in reverse. Sagittarius, this is things not going your way. You're not getting anything you want. Nothing is working. Somebody used their power and position to keep this group going. To keep a marriage, a situation going. This could even be a Magician energy. This could be a Virgo or a Gemini who did this. But we also, again, have Sagittarius and we have Aquarius. The Star card is in the upright. Or maybe this group came up against an official person. They came together to try to block this person when they're the ones with the freaking power. Somebody is healing from a Wheel of Fortune in reverse. I feel like somebody is healing and somebody else is going into torment. Complete and utter torment that is going to lead to poverty. That also came out in the collective reading. I was saying something about things being worse than death. There's things that are worse than death, you know. Six of Wands. Yeah, somebody's got a victory here. Six of Swords, and these people can't move on to calmer waters. Six of Swords in the upright is being able to, you're weathering the storm. You know, you're getting out before Katrina comes in. You know what I'm saying? But Tower in reverse. Something is coming in, but it's going to be a long Tower moment. So I feel like from this day on, things get worse and worse and worse. You know, especially with this here, somebody's going into poverty. They might not get it, bam, on the spot, but they're gonna get it. It'll dwindle. Four of Swords. Somebody might die. Or somebody needs to take a minute and think about it for real. Or somebody's sick. I feel like somebody's healing and somebody else is getting sick. Somebody is heartbroken from all this work that they did in this marriage. And that's the thing too. Somebody is probably hurt from the relationships not working out too, not just the poverty. Now somebody is going to be not in a very good position. This is mourning, Four of Swords. It could be. This could be being at somebody's memorial, you know. Excuse me. Yeah, this is being trapped in your head or needing to rest from somebody might be going crazy. They can't get away from this storm that they've created. The King of Swords is coming in with some truth. Maybe that's why they know now. Or maybe this King of Swords is going to cut things out. Maybe this King of Swords is going to decide to be the official person. Can you give me something else for the Star and the Wheel of Fortune in reverse? Page of Wands in the reverse. The Eight of Wands in the reverse. Yeah, I feel like something is going back to somebody. And somebody else is healing. See, all of this is all bad. And over here, it's like somebody did something and they didn't work for it. This wasn't the right judgment to like put people or try to put these people in a position that they weren't the official person. They don't have power. So now you got all these people with no power in the Nine of Wands in the reverse that you've connected to. This is giving me what I've been saying about joining a coven. The only reason why you join a coven is if you don't know your own magic yet, or you know it's weak, or that you know it's weak. There's no reason to join a coven and you don't know your own magic yet. People are so power hungry. You know, that's Scorpio energy. Negative Scorpio energy, and not wanting to work for it. Not wanting to understand why power is the way it is. Not really wanting to do the right thing with it either. That's crazy to me. Because power is strength. Again, this is strength of God, the strength card. That's a volatile energy. You got to really keep it in balance. I mean, in balance, not, imbalanced, but in balance. Yeah, something that somebody was working on is not going to work. I feel like a King of Swords is coming in and cutting some shit out. Maybe they're healing. Maybe they're not going to try to run from their situation. Maybe that's what that means too. Six of Swords in the reverse could mean you not running from a storm. That could be you facing this Tower moment. Maybe that's going to help it go by a little easier. Because the Tower in reverse to me is a little bit better than the Tower in Bam. Sometimes though, not really when it comes to money, to me. Four of Cups in the reverse. Somebody sees a gift. I think somebody's going to go on a journey and become this magic person. They see the gift in it. They see that if they stayed in this group with these shallow people, they were never going to grow spiritually. They were never going to understand anything. The only thing you're ever going to try to do is get pregnant and have a bunch of babies and create more karma if you don't know any better. If that's all that you think that the earth and God gave you, and the only power you've ever experienced was having a baby, that's what you're going to think you're here to do. Very base level, lower, lusty things, And the marriage. I don't think that marriage is a good thing. It's AI. It's something that you have to do. It's not natural. You got to go through all these things for marriage. That's a contract too. So, y'all can have that. But anyways, that's what I have for you, Scorpio. I think you're being called. That's what I think. I think you're being plucked from a very superficial group of people who are haughty and high-minded, and they think that, you know, I was saying in the collective reading, the Hierophant and the Devil came out with the Strength card. And the Strength card is the balance. That's the beauty. That's where you want to be. You don't want to be the Hierophant and you don't want to be the Devil. These are two aspects that you're supposed to mesh together to become the God in the middle. That's who you are. And it takes shadow work. It takes all of this torment and everything that you're going to have to go through, or that you have gone through, is to make you grow into this magician energy. Somebody that knows power, respects power. I think that you made a wrong choice and now you're being punished for it. And I don't think you're being punished for it in a way like everybody else is going to be punished for it. I think you're being plucked out, Scorpio, and you need to go on this journey. Yes, something about a house and a family room. This is all karmic stuff. Sudden wealth, that's all your energy. Other people's money, power. There's power in your DNA that you're not tapping into, dealing with these people and the head stuff. You got the 9 of Swords, the 6 of Swords. You can't come into your power if you're always in your head about some bullshit and, you know, fucking and having babies, and, you know, you're worried about all your family members and all in their business. How are you going to get to yourself? Hermit is another card to me that is like one of the most powerful cards in the deck, because the Hermit goes away. He's not afraid of being alone. He can look at himself in the mirror and knows who he is, and he's working on himself when all things go wrong. The Hermit knows to get the fuck away and work on himself. Powerful, powerful shit. And a lot of Scorpios are Virgos in sidereal astrology. So you definitely have that aspect of you too. The nonchalant, the secretively going away, but really work on yourself. Your rebirth, death and rebirth. You guys can come out and be somebody totally different than who you are. And that's a gift. Not everybody can do that. I mean, everybody has Scorpio in their chart for the most part, but not everybody is a master with the Magician here at dying and being able to rebirth themselves. Not everybody is multi-talented, multifaceted. Not everybody is deep like you are. So you have to embrace that about yourself. Stop judging. You guys can be so judgmental. You represent judgment. And you can be so judgmental and not in the right way. When you act like that, that's you're pulling out those energies that are negative. When you're too suspicious, when you're too judgmental, that's you trying to hide that dark side of yourself that always is, especially with you guys, it's always going to come out. Love it, nurture it. That's, man, you guys are one of the most, if not the most nurturing sign in the fucking deck. I mean, in the zodiac. Extremely nurturing. That's why you can bring something from death back to life. Do you understand? Like, there's not really a God more powerful than death. Everybody has to answer to death, Scorp. I try to tell you these things because I know how insecure you are about that part of you. You're so insecure about it. And when no one's watching, you're not. But don't hide that about yourself. Start schooling people about that energy and how to master it, because that is your job. And it's one of the hardest jobs that there is. I'm not going to lie to you. It's the hardest energy to tame. It's a lot like Leo. Except for it's dark. It's mostly dark. And even when it's light, it's dark. You know, you gotta embrace it. So, man, that is so beautiful. I don't know how to explain it in a way where I'm going to figure it out though. One day, Scorpio, I'm going to start explaining your energy in a way that you're going to be like, I'm a dark motherfucker and I love it. and understand that dark doesn't mean mean, rude, horrible. It means judgment. You know, one of the things that my spirit told me is, as a judge, because I'm Scorpio too, sidereal, I'm Sag, but I'm Scorpio, sidereal. You got to be able to judge everybody fairly. If you're a god and you're trying to make things balanced for people and fair, you can't let your mama slide. You know, if you done killed 50 people for doing something in front of everybody and then your mama do it, you can't change the laws now because that's your mother. That's not fair. That's not right. And you will cause anarchy. You done killed all these people's family and friends, and you got them accepting that that's how it is. And then when your people do it, you don't want to. You got to be able to do that. You know? You got to be able to judge. It's not always fun. It's not always fair. And people ain't always going to like you. But that's power. Real power is doing the right thing. And you will always be able to get good sleep. You will always be able to look yourself in the mirror when you're doing the right thing. When you're doing the balanced thing. I got to be careful saying right, because there's right and there's the left. And that's also represents the demon and the angel. And you need to be in the middle. The heart is in the middle. The courage is in the middle. You know, you want to be solid. Especially Scorpios. I haven't met a positive Scorpio yet in my life. I haven't met a positive Leo either. I want one. I want a Leo. A positive Leo. I want to take one home and feed it. But a positive Scorpio is probably something... Man, that's probably on another level too. But anyway, Scorpio, that's what I got. Somebody sees the gift. You're going to understand the assignment. You're going to understand the assignment. You're going to see it. And that's what I have for you. And I hope that you enjoyed your reading. You have Taurus here as your main energy. Oh, and the Magician, sorry. Taurus is your polar opposite. So it's something about that too. The people that you're choosing, you know, it's the groups and the people that you're choosing that are bringing you down, because you got the power. You got the power. You just made the wrong choice of who to work with or something. And now Spirit is plucking you out because you still got the power, Scorpio. You are still the one with the power. You just got to rebirth it now. Phoenix energy, I was mentioning that in the other reading too, the collective reading. That's what I have for you, Scorpio. I hope that you enjoyed. I really enjoy reading for you. I don't want to shut up. I want to keep going, but there's no more cards. So I hope that you enjoyed me as much as I enjoyed you. And I will see you next time, Scorp. Peace.